Hello, my name is Nadas Aguilar. I am with Group 3 of Animal Science 67, and today I'm going to be going over our pro-animal testing slides. So the first slide I'm going to be going over is basically what is animal testing. So animal testing involves using live animals in scientific studies to learn how different medications or procedures might affect living bodies. And even though the animals might experience some discomfort, these tests are done to help scientists make important discoveries that can improve human and animal health. These animal tests can include things like giving animals certain substances to see how their bodies react, doing surgeries to study how organs work or heal, testing how the body responds to chemicals or gases, and studying stress or behavior to better understand mental health. The second slide I'm going to be going over is the history of animal testing. So animal testing has been used for centuries, beginning in the earliest periods of medical practices. In an article about how animal testing developed, Nuno Henrique Franco, I believe his name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, mentions that the earliest documented experiments took place in ancient Greece, where doctors carried out vivisections, meaning surgical procedures conducted on living animals to study their bodies. He notes that these experiments did not cause ethical concerns at the time, because the Greeks believed humans were superior and that animals were simply irrational creatures. The third slide I'm going to be going over is how animal testing is done. So regulatory testing is used to check products like medicine, chemicals, pesticides, cosmetics, and food additives to make sure they are safe and work the way they should. And animals are then exposed to these substances in different ways, such as eating them or breathing them in. And after that, they are usually examined, then killed to study any effects that may have happened to their bodies. And after the whole procedure of animal testing, usually groups like Cruelty Free International push to remove outdated animal tests and replace them with non-animal testing methods. And even though some progress has been made, change is slow, and many animals are still used in experiments despite the existence of alternative testing options.
Hey everyone, my name is Viviana Chavez and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the types of animals being used in research. So around 10 to 10 million animals are used annually in the US, and the most common are found to be mice, rats, fish, and birds. And then there's also other types of animals, dogs, cats, rabbits, primates, and other mammals which are also used for animal testing. Animal testing can range from anything between biology lessons to any chemical, drug, or cosmetic testing. Mats and rice are usually used for their genetic similarities to humans, their short lifespans, and their multi-generational research. For instance, multi-generational research means that the scientists study over long periods of time, usually focusing on how the treatments change over the generation and how they progress. And they help develop treatments for cancer and other infectious disease through mice and rats. And then there are rabbits, which are used for vaccine development, antibody production, and treatments for eye, skin, or heart, or any immune system. And then monkeys, which are closest biological relative to humans and are made perfect for developing similar treatments for diseases or issues like HIV, neurological disorder, or any organ transplant. And then other animals are usually selected based on their biological similarities to humans or their research needs. Cultural and sociological importance. So animal testing has shaped society's view on medicine, science, because of people's view. Nearly every medical breakthrough has happened because of animal testing. For example, breast cancer, childhood leukemia, and cystic fibrosis have all been have all had new treatments or therapies created because of animal testing, which has affected the public's expectations about new drugs and therapies being tested on animals. For example, monkeys have been known to have helped advance HIV and AIDS research and understand the disease mechanisms. For this is an example in the image is how a treatment for cystic fibrosis. These practices show that cultural value about human health, safety, and ethical responsibility reflect the society's commitment to balancing scientific progress and animal welfare. So, animal testing is regulated, which promotes public confidence in the medical research. The experiments are monitored to ensure that the animals are protected under animal welfare policies. So, how policies ensure humane animal research. U.S. Department of Agriculture helped create a set of animal care standards to inspect facilities and ensure humane treatments. They are also in charge of oversight of each facility to ensure that they are being ethical in their treatments. Next is the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, which ensures testing is done under regulated conditions. They also determine safe dosages for each testing and potential side effects. The FDA also requires animal testing to ensure safe and effective treatments before human trials. Next is the Association for Assessment and Accreditation of Laboratory Animal Care. They encourage best practices in housing, handling, and veterinary care. Their main goal is to ensure that labs follow high standards of animal care and welfare. Lastly is the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, the IACUC. They are a self-regulatory committee located at each facility and include 3 members, one veterinarian and one non-affiliated with the organization. They are in charge of reviewing all the animal research at that facility, and they look for any ethical or inhumane practices.
So for my first slide, I did current events, and upon doing research for current events that regarding animal testing, I had found that the USDA requires animal experimentation for the benefit of humans, but it is currently being replaced using a range of approaches like AI-based computational models and cell lines. They are hoping that this will reduce animal experimentation, lower research and development costs, as well as lowering drug prices. The USDA is hoping to advance in drug experiments that will be more accurate, although it won't be for a while until all companies factor out animal testing, as the USDA will need to approve the use of AI and test for results that are better than animal testing results. And my next slide was ethical reasoning. There are many highlights of animal use in the biomedical research. A major reason is why they are is that animals and humans share the same biological processes. Humans and animals share some anatomical similarities, which is why certain animals are suitable for experiments and others aren't. Animal experimentation also allows for young researchers and students in different fields of biological and biomedical sciences to practice and learn. In the end, animal testing also helps researchers explore efficiency and safety of potential medical treatments and drugs. Some people may be against animal testing, but it's not required for no reason. And here comes my next slide, alternative methods. Like in the current event slide, animal testing is starting to be reduced and AI is being considered as a replacement. AI is providing new opportunities to replace animal testing with more human-relevant and efficient methods. AI is promising to accelerate and develop a safer and more efficient kind of therapies, drugs, and even neurology. The path of AI taking over animal testing is still ongoing, as development and validation is still being researched to make sure it can be a better fit than animal testing. And to conclude is the summary. In my opinion, I think there are certain aspects in when an animal doesn't need to be tested on for the human's benefit, and I think there are times when animals do need to be tested on. Sometimes I think it's just common knowledge that maybe humans shouldn't use this or do that, eat that, and other times I think that it's necessary to test on an animal. But altogether, animal experimentation is widely used and is required by the USDA for human safety when it comes to all products that are sold in markets. Animal testing identifies the root causes of various diseases in human and animals for exploring treatment options. Additionally, the usefulness of extrapolating animal data to humans for ethical reasoning, their use is declining in those research areas and alternatives, and are becoming more available. Animal testing is done for ethical reasonings, and sometimes it will be done for the safety of the human so that we get the benefits of testing on that animal. Lastly, animal testing is also supposed to be done in a humane fashion for the animals that doesn't hurt them. And those were my slides. Thank you. So